Welcome, everybody. Stay tuned to El Paso. It's Priss and Vic. I'm Vic.
I'm Priss.
And what a fantastic guest we have lined up. I feel like it's a coup. Somehow we've managed to grab out of nowhere and steal him off of TV or something. Oh, now you're going to act embarrassed, Alberto. Out of all the times that I've seen you get up and act a fool, now you're going to be embarrassed. El Pelon, everybody.
Yes. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Alberto Orozco. Good to see you, my brother.
I change when the camera's on.
Really?
Totally.
I can't wait.
Totally different person.
I'm witnessing this right now.
I'm just telling you right now, we got a 1x1 space right here. So if you're going to jump around and kick and whatever, you can do it in here. You can do it in here.
Yeah.
We signed our waivers prior to this, guys. We're safe.
You should know, if you don't already, who this gentleman is. He's been on TV. How many years were you doing TV?
Probably about 8 or 9 years.
8 or 9 years on TV.
Correct.
Slinging cars, slinging anything you could get a hold of. Possibly better known for doing Casa.
Yes.
You were on Casa forever.
Casa Nissan. Worked there for 16 years complete. Yeah, pretty much close to 16 years.
Nice.
But doing TV with them, it was about 8 years, 8 to 9.
Mm-hmm. And one of the more energetic people, Priss, I have ever met. I've got to be friends with. As we've learned, the whole reason of having Stay Tuned El Paso is to promote our friends.
Of course, absolutely.
we've got some famous friends. But the one thing that Alberto has always brought to the table, if you will, no matter where I'd see him at, whether I was working at the radio station and we were doing what we would call live remotes with them at the dealership, or if I've seen them at lunch or just even out on the street.
When we were allowed?
Yeah, when way back when, 9 months ago.
Back in the day.
He always brought that energy to the table, and it was you were never phony about it. You had your natural energy. Even here talking behind the scenes before you showed up, Priss, the energy just radiates out of Alberto, and it's nothing but positivity. If I can give you anything today, bro. No.
We love that. We need more positivities.
If I can give you anything, it's that you always bring that energy with you. How did you start? Well, from El Paso. Born and raised here?
No, actually, I was born and pretty much raised in Juarez, Mexico.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the area.
I'm the borderline guy.
Borderline guy.
I'm not sure what borderline guy means.
Yeah. Please elaborate.
But I'm going to come back to that in a few.
Yeah. I want him to explain that a little bit.
How did you? So essentially, what we're talking about, Alberto, is you've done marketing.
Correct.
For the past 20 years. Let's just say you've been into it because you're selling yourself, you're selling the product, you're selling whatever company you're selling. How does a kid from Juarez, Mexico, end up on TV? End up on everybody? And let's be honest, they love you, they hated you. Yeah. And it went right in. No, there was no middle ground.
But they keep watching.
Exactly.
Watching. What's going on?
Haters are confused admirers.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
In the closet.
In the closet. I like that. They're in the closet.
How does a kid from Juarez grow up to be El Pelon?
Right. Well, first of all, my name is Alberto Orozco. That's my last name.
That's his real name, guys.
AKA
Alberto.
Pelon.
Yeah.
But everybody knows me by Pelon. But thank you, Victor, for that intro. Is amazing. You're an amazing guy.
Oh.
Talking about famous, you are amazing. No. You're famous, Victor.
We're friends.
Victor Cruz.
Victor Cruz.
And what you did, actually, when we used to work together at Casa, Casa Nissan, we did so many things.
Yeah, we did.
Together.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed to have you there by my side, doing all the work that you did.
I appreciate that.
And especially all the good vibes that I used to come out with from me or the team that I used to have at Casa Nissan is because of you guys.
And I appreciate that, and that means the world to me coming from somebody like you. But I also want to add in, we would go and do these live broadcast remotes where we'd be on the air, on the radio, and there'd be every station literally lined up, almost like a parade, these tense parades. And
look at a mess of
radio. But I mean, and everybody, I guarantee you, Alberto, everybody who I'm friends with still to this day, who even may not even be in radio anymore, would say the exact same thing. It was always a joy being out there with you. You were the celebrity that even we looked up to, because those 2 or 3 minutes we would put you on the air to sling the cars and talk about the specials, you did so well. And number one, it took away from us. We didn't have to do it. Made my job, made our job easier. But again, it goes back to that positive energy that you would bring to that work environment, even if we only worked with you for literally for a moment in a day. I can't imagine working with you all day long, bringing that energy. Have you always had that energy? Again, I go back, being in Juarez, coming to El Paso, were you always this positive? Because it's not fake. You're not faking it.
Thank you. No, it is. It was kind of like coming from Juarez. There was always barriers, especially when you come to a country like this, when this give you so much opportunity, when they give you everything that you can to take, and then you got to do the right thing.
Right.
Work
So
hard, right.
going back, yes, I was married very young to this beautiful lady, the mother of my son, Alan.
Nice.
Her name is Michelle, and I end up here being in El Paso. But I always knew that you had to bring the best of you to be able to make it in United States or El Paso. You have to bring everything that makes you the best and throw all the trash out. And of course, you brought this to this, and the sky's the limit. And, I was working for my ex-father-in-law furniture business back in the day. I started selling toys, and then from there I went to the furniture business, and then I became the manager there. It was Furniture Mart back in the day.
I remember Furniture Mart.
It was in Fox Plaza, and then after that was in Alameda. So he was kind of like a rep for New Orleans furniture. He used to sell dinings and stuff like that, and I became well known about that. And that's where, for the first time, I hired. I don't know if you remember Gina.
Gina
from La Que Buena.
Yes, yeah.
Back in the day, that was my first Gina. That I started to see the radio and all those things, and I become part of that. Back in the day, the radio stuff like that. Back then, my son, he was probably, talking about a few months, 3 months or so. But that's how everything
awesome.
started. And Furniture Mart, and then from Furniture Mart went to other stuff like that.
And so and again I go back to the attitude. That attitude was always there. Maybe not the persona that we would see on TV, but that positive attitude, that bring it attitude, if you will, has always been a part of you.
Yes.
Where does it come from?
It is something that fuels inside, and if I tell you a little bit of my story, it's not that a very pretty story.
Nobody's
is.
Nobody's is.
My childhood, it was harsh, and and I have stories that if I tell you, you won't believe it.
Here we are. Yeah, that's what we're here for.
We're all ears, baby.
Okay, well, let me put it this way. Back in the day, my dad used to work for this company that I used to do oil and manteca. It was a big factory in Juarez, Mexico. So back in the day, he was working with this packs of algodón.
Okay.
And a big accident happened in that day. Everything burned down. A lot of people died in that factory that day.
God.
A lot of people. My dad, thank God, he survived that fire. It was one of the biggest fires in Juarez, Mexico. And what happened is that after that, he actually got into, we all got into what is next. So week passed by, month passed by, and another, months after month, and then suddenly there was no money. Mm-hmm. There was nothing to eat. There was nothing like that. My dad took off. He went to, I think with my tío, they live in California. And then he disappeared. For us, being a little kid, you disappear. So what I did, actually, I started thinking about how can I bring food to the table. I was probably about 8 years old, something like that. And my sister, Maribel, she actually was older, of course. So I developed this plan about how I'm going to do it. So
You're 8 years old.
yes. Yeah. very,
Bless your
and a
heart.
very,
that just caught me on. Yeah, you're
My
absolutely
son
right.
couldn't even,
very
like,
hot
make a
day.
sandwich.
It was a summer day, so I remember sitting down on the edge of the bed, and then I went and I look into, this place holds all the jacket and stuff like that, and then from there, when you have an old jacket, you have it hold into the back right here.
Yeah.
So I make it bigger on both sides. Me and my sister will walk into this mercado in Juarez, and then I start putting Spam, the coffee and stuff like that into the jacket and put it in the back.
Oh man!
And then we become thieves
Wow.
for food.
Oh, I mean, you got to do what you have to do, right?
It was hard time in those moments that you do something like that, and I did it probably for 3-4 weeks, something like that. Me and my sister, but my mom could not believe it that we brought those stuff like that. Yeah. But I remember the first time that actually she found out about it. We have to cross a little canal.
Okay.
Okay, little. The water runs fast. So if you walk from that area, the llano, you brought all this weight. I'm just a little kid, but we have to cross through a little,
Like
this
a bridge?
like no, not the bridge. It's kind of like something to hold, and then that's what he used to do to cross that.
Oh, like a zip
line. Like a swing.
Like a
Something
zip
like a
line.
swing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have all this weight. I never realized that because that day the water started, passing. So it was easy for me to do something like that. And when I did it, I end up kind of like on the edge of the canal and all wet. And then, it was pulling me down almost. I don't know how I did it, but I came out. And I remember my mom looking at me like, what the heck, what are you doing? And stuff like that. And she started hitting me. And when she hit me, she saw that I have all those things.
Oh.
And we start crying in there in the same moment. And that's one of the things that makes you the person that I am today.
You talk about, and Priss said it, you had to do what you had to do, right or wrong.
Right.
You still had to do it, but here's what gets me: you only did it for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You knew right off the bat.
It was bad. This is not right.
Yeah,
It's
this
not
isn't
my
right.
Life. I can't be the thief.
Yeah, being a thief, okay, to feed the family, but you knew that option was available, but there were better options to take at that time.
And so young, too.
So in that moment, I remember this man that he was working on the supermercado. He caught us on the middle of the llano, and then he told me he started putting all the stuff out, and it's like, so what do you got this stuff? He knew that we stole it from this store. And I remember being a little kid, it's like, no, we pay for it. And then I find a little piece of paper in the dirt, and
my receipt.
I clean it, and here's a receipt. I think I probably melt his heart, and he told me, okay, go ahead and take off, but don't ever come back. And that's when I realized, it's like, wait a minute, if I show a receipt to everybody.
Oh my God. The little hamster is running
Right now, no, but it was
Now he's a smart thief.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's thinking.
It was a lot of things like that. It's just that
It's survival. It's survival.
makes you stronger. And after that, I remember a big box showed up into the house with a big envelope full of dollars and money, and that was my dad.
From your dad.
That was my dad.
Oh,
From there on,
that's good.
everything changed, and the guy did what he needed to do.
So you're
amazing.
saying,
That's
what you're saying is that even though at the time what you thought he had ran off and ran away, he was actually really working
For his family.
trying to provide.
Correct. He was working. It was tough months for my mom, and for us, all of us. It was hard. But that was the moment that actually, my whole family lives in California. My sisters and my mom, and funny, my two sisters, they're wealthy. They're millionaires.
Why is that funny?
Because every time that I go and visit my sister, I walk into the la alacena, where you put your groceries and stuff like that, and it's
Gigantísimo, así grande.
it's everywhere. Yeah,
Like 3 tiers of drawers.
And it's nothing but spam.
And it's
I knew it.
little spam.
exactly.
because you hold on to that. I mean, that's
absolutely. Those are comfort foods for life, like sardines and liver and onions.
but it's the humbling
No,
aspect.
but she wanted to have that to remember.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know it's para siempre, no?
where literally, quite literally, where you came from.
Yeah.
So again, and that's the driving factor for you now, I'm sure. And those 16, 17, 18 years that you were on TV. So what clicks in your head that you know, okay, I'm going to sell cars. I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be. Where does the persona of El Pelon come from? That you know this is the driving force behind the cars, because you did such a fantastic job at that.
Well, it was kind of like I remember that it was this guy that used to come out and do the commercials for Casa Nissan. He was hired to do something like that. Then also there was the invitation of the TV stations, and I said that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in TV, and I was thinking in my mind, I'm going to do such a great job that it will be hard for them to let me go or take me out of the TV. And I remember the first commercial was doing a kind of like an inspector type. And I wear that inspector, kind of like a
full out.
Charles.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I start, doing it through the cars, doing all the stupid things and stuff like that. And,
right.
and then from there on, it took off. And then I remember that my hair was so thin, and I was losing my hair. And one day, suddenly, I was like, you know what? That's it. Goodbye hair. There's nothing there to me be holding to it. And I remember I shaved. And then I become the Pelon. And everybody, started to, who's that bald guy? And blah, blah, who's that bald guy?
It's El Pelon.
And the Pelon was born in Casa Nissan.
And so, you're talking about working for really marketing. We're marketing the product, marketing Casa Nissan, and marketing yourself, that image. And again, I say it's a persona, but it's not phony. You're not a mascot. You don't put a costume on.
No, of course not.
And it's you. It really is you. Yeah. But you've amplified this inner energy, if you will, to be El Pelon.
Correct.
What is it like having, we talked about it at the beginning of the podcast here. People absolutely loved you. People absolutely hated you.
Correct.
But they were talking about you. Like, and they probably, what was that? Again, a kid from Juarez, now on El Paso TV, damn near national TV. Talk about
daily,
Cal Worthington and his dog Spot. You're up there with these people as far as I'm concerned. Doing these things where Montana and Trowbridge, Kalai, Chokanan, and you're creating these catchphrases. What's it like having that feeling of love and hatred at the same time, being able to walk down the street and see your face on a billboard, on a bus stop, on a bench somewhere? How incredible was that? Is it? Because I still see it out there.
I'm excited for him. That's fun.
Yeah.
Woo.
No, and you know what, Priscilla, is you don't think about those things. For me, the number one thing that I was doing over there at Casa Nissan, it was project the Casa Nissan. It wasn't about me. It wasn't about something else. And that's what I thought, okay, I'm going to be doing all this jumping. I'm going to be doing all those things. And I'm going to come out with this scripts or these ideas. But it was thinking in my heart and my mind, it was about the business.
Right.
And what else? Okay, first of all, it was I have 15 seconds or 30 seconds to impress somebody. That was the main thing. That's one of the things that it gets me in my mind. Okay, I have 30 seconds or 15 seconds, depending on what I was going to do.
Engage them.
Let me tell you something real quick. Let me just, and you being in the business of singing and entertainment.
That's exactly.
15 seconds, 30 seconds in a medium to get your point across is either
they're going to stay, they're going to leave, they're going to like you, they're going to hate you, they're going to follow you.
It's the quickest time or it's the longest time. It can go either way. Right. That's so valuable.
Very good point.
Yeah.
And that was the mentality that I used to think about, okay, 30 seconds, I got to do it. And then, okay, so I come out with this idea about talking and what the commercial was going to be or the topic that it was going to be. If something about, back in the day, probably this kid fall into the ditch It came up viral, and then they were talking about it. So I used to say,
You
okay,
inspired it to
I'm gonna
this.
write something about that.
So this is all strategized. You actually sat there,
Wait a
made
minute.
scripts.
Yes.
This is not just a bunch of like spontaneous jumping. He sat
Right.
down and planned this out.
Are
Yes.
you talking about the Yahweh kid? Yahweh. I love that video.
Yeah.
I love it. And you did something off of that.
my
I
goodness.
did a lot of things. I did
No way.
I did one of those, and it was thinking about what it's gonna be. And I remember, and by the way, Mike and I, we used to talk about, okay, what we're gonna talk about,
Right.
and came out with stuff like that. It was part of my job. Besides doing media buy, besides doing all the radio, doing all this digital stuff, and yeah, it was part of my work. It was as an advertising director.
But what was it like? And again, I go back to even if you're walking around outside at Casa at the time, to look up and see this
Big,
16
humongous sign of
foot
yourself.
head, El Pelon, this bald guy.
Literally.
That had to do something to you, whether you were
You gotta
embarrassed
feel
by it.
proud. Like, eso sí soy yo.
Yeah, proud, or they had to
Oh,
do
yeah.
something. Billboards as you're driving down the street, you look at it and you go,
Billboard.
"That's me."
That's me.
That's the
Yeah.
goal.
Now that I look back, I don't know, man. It's, I mean, you know what feels better when somebody recognized me in some way, and I got a chance to, like if Priscilla says, "Hey, you're the Pelon," so now you open the door for me to talk to you,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
and then have that opportunity to get to know you, and get to know
And
the
make
people.
them happy because you're that kind of person.
Yes,
He
and then-
loves to spread love.
And then suddenly you become friends, and then when I see you again, you're just like, "Hey, how are you?" But
So he
that wa-
preferred the.
that was what
you know?
it got me. That's get to know you, Victor.
Over
Get to
the-
know everybody in TV, Brenda, and everybody in TV, Matt Kaplowitz, all those guys, everybody.
so incredibly humble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it goes back to, now I got to ask you, because things were said about you. The haters, if you
Yeah.
will,
Okay.
said, okay, he's gay. Okay, he's this. Okay, that guy's got to be whatever, No offense to anybody, but I'm just
It's
saying.
hilarious.
How did you let that slide off of you? Or did it bother you? I don't know.
No,
After
never.
a while?
Never bothered me. Never. I was always friendly with everybody, and in fact, I'm gonna tell you a story. Right there, I went with my friend Horacio to Carlos and Mickey's because that was close to Casa Nissan. So we ordered something to eat, and then we're waiting pretty much. And then back then, I used to like that albondiga they serve in Carlos and Mickey's, delicious.
It is good there.
And then me and Horacio were talking, and then suddenly this gentleman walks up to us like, "Man, I hate your commercials. In fact, you're a payaso, and I hate all those
Yeah.
things, and blah,
Yeah.
blah." And
Wow.
I'm listening to it, and Horacio, he's about to jump, It's like, and then it's like, he said, "Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that, your honesty. I'm glad that you like them or don't like them. It doesn't matter, But what I want is just get to know you." So I start talking to the guy, blah, blah, and suddenly, right there, he was pretty much, when he was telling me all this, spitting on my food, I said, "No, I don't want my food no more." So right there, we become kind of like a connection. I believe that afternoon showed up and buy a car from us.
Really?
Wow.
So I always remember that if you do something wrong, or if you represented the company. So I never jump into somebody telling me all the stuff, blah, blah, blah. God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, don't waste your energy on that.
But if I do
anger.
something wrong, I know it was going to reflect on the company that I was working for.
Right.
So that was something that it was always in my head and my heart. Always, always, always. I don't want to get drunk and jump into a table, start dancing. It's like,
you need to write a book because a lot of people need to follow these examples.
Absolutely.
You have an amazing outlook.
But
and
how many times though, Alberto, did that actually? I bet you that happened more often than not, where
Quite a
somebody
few.
probably literally went straight to the dealership to
hate
tell you off
yourselves.
and say something to you,
Right.
and ended up buying a car
Yes.
because either you switched them or they said, "Oh well, okay, here we are. We're
Okay,
now."
well, I guess they're right.
Yeah.
No, and it's true. I mean, quite a few, but more than anything, how about those people that walk into me, and I remember this lady, in fact, came out into the daily, when they go back in Facebook, and then it happened years back, this lady had she was in the hospital. I think she was close to die about something about the heart attack, open heart surgery. And that day showed up in Casa Nissan, and she started crying in front of me, and I did not know what it was. And then suddenly she hugged me, and then Stanky, you saved my life, because I used to make her laugh, and it was,
Oh,
you know,
that's so endearing. Yeah,
yes,
that hits you right
It
in
was
the soul.
one of those things that
Oh
you
my
keep in
God.
your heart, and you forget about everything else.
You're talking about, and let me break it down the way I break it down. You're talking about a stupid commercial
Yeah.
that makes people laugh, and look at how much it meant to at least one person.
Correct.
Laughter is gold.
As frequent, and again, I get it. I get the marketing of it. I understand. These commercials run all day long, 5 times in the evening, however you made the buy for whatever. But the fact of the matter is, you're on TV, local celebrity, almost like a Drew Carey, almost like an Alex Trebek. I mean, you're on TV. People make that connection, even if it's just a stupid commercial of trying to sell a car. But they catch on and they latch on to you. Did you see that? Or do you see? Because I know you still see it. Do you see it more with not just El Paso, but with the Hispanic community? Does the Hispanic community tend to gravitate towards you more so than anybody else, or is it all around? Do you think?
Well, I think so. I mean, when I used to go to, especially because I was the let's say the money in some way. I was the one it was buying sponsorships. So when I used to do sponsorships for El Paso Country Club or something like that, I was a different demo.
Right.
So I used to go over there, and the Americanos, gringos, güeros, whatever you want to call, they used to go to you, and it's like, yeah, you're the guy from the commercials. Yeah, that's good. Blah, blah. And it's like, okay, so they accept me.
Right.
Even though that I've been the crazy guy, Mexican, jumping, all this stuff. And they accept me because who I was.
You're not threatening. You're very sweet and very nice.
So I used to talk to those guys. And then the Latino community also too they come and talk to me. So I speak that
on all levels. I think
levels.
He's all love, all levels of love.
I think he does. I think he does. What are you doing as we slowly start to wrap up here? You're listening to Stay Tuned El Paso with Priss and Vic. Our guest is El Pelon, Alberto. What are you doing now, man?
Well, after working on the experience that I got in Casa Nissan, I learned how to learn everything on the end on the advertising. Thanks to Tom Emery, Mike Zuluaga for his
Legends.
For the opportunity in Casa Nissan, the low-end fuels. Thank you. I started my own advertising agency.
Nice.
It's called Amo Advertising. You can check Amo, AMOO, advertising.com. That's my
all over
webpage.
social media too. I see it. Yeah.
Also in social media too. Amo Advertising. And I have important clients right now, doctors, companies that I work with. And also I work for other companies too. But right now, because what's going on, the COVID and everything situation is tough. It's tough.
It is tough.
It really
and
is.
it's not only me, it's tough for everybody. I understand.
Amen.
We have to protect each other, be conscious about the other people, and you're not the only person that's hurting, it's everybody.
I guess
Exactly, be compassionate.
if there's anything that we can all walk away from in feeling a little bit better, it's that it's happening all across the board everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's not just you. It's not just me. It's all
But
of us.
we're all going to get
Through
better
it
together.
I have a question. I have to say, because
Yes.
even though through all this COVID and you're positively dressed to the T's, your shoes. Look at his shoes.
No, it's better
I am
shoes than
dying.
yours.
Dude, I'm like, damn, those are pimp.
Get a shot of them. Look at them shoes. Ace is taking photos
Who
of his
are you
shoes.
wearing? Please tell us. Just say. Those are awesome shoes.
Well, I love my shoes. That's something that you gotta know about me. I have tennies, different colors.
I love them. I was just like,
This
damn.
Ferragamo.
I have cowboy boots that are that color, but like, and
Isn't the color is pretty cool, huh?
the color's very nice. And then look at, I love it. You have your your blazer, and then check out his hat, guys.
Awesome. I'm wearing Skechers.
Would you say it was from Huatec?
This is from Oaxaca,
Oaxaca.
una tribu Huichol, and they work the beads. Actually, this is have you seen the jowers full of beads on it? That's what they're well known more. The
okay.
Oaxacan, the tribu Huichol, and they work this, and it's an amazing work.
There's actual bead work on there. I mean, I don't know if you guys look at that. Very
it's
nice.
really amazing. And then look at his mask también, Dia de
His
los Muertos.
mask.
I love the
Calaveras,
Mexican
skeletons.
culture.
Yeah.
Me too.
It gives you so much to think about. El Dia de los Muertos, it was just November 1st. And if you ever have a chance to go and see a fiesta Dia de los Muertos, you got to go to Oaxaca, Mexico, Mérida. They follow the beautiful fiesta del Dia de los Muertos.
And things.
And it's beautiful. And it's something that is true. There is a verse in the Bible that is, dejar que los muertos entierren a sus muertos. Because true, we all going to die.
Yeah.
So right now, our job is to say goodbye to our people that we love. And then because somebody's going to do the same to you.
Yeah.
So especially now this time, I would like to give a big hug and my heart goes to those people they lost because of COVID-19. I love you guys, and let me tell you, I feel your pain, and we all in the same route. But just to tell you the truth about what I wear, and I always been flashy like that.
I love
Always.
it. I was just saying, I'm
love.
He's wearing all that. He's wearing that fancy clothes, and I'm wearing FM Junkies. It's
hey, I brought my band shirt too.
That's why I'll say it's my favorite band. Second
It's
favorite.
okay. You can
second
have your
favorite
I
band.
don't have to be your favorite band. I just have to be your favorite Priss and Vic.
Right here.
Your favorite Priss.
Yeah. And you're out of the three people sitting on this couch, you're one of them.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. Alberto, thank you, brother.
Thank
I
you.
can
You're
sit
welcome. Thank
and
you.
chit chat with you all day. And again, it goes back to what I said in the beginning. At the remotes, we would almost miss our call-ins because we're sitting there laughing and
I
just having
believe
a good time. If you want to follow Alberto along on social media, I know you're all over. And we didn't even get into your bike riding. Oh, man, you do some great stuff when you go out bike riding.
Well, actually,
I love it.
bike riding is what pretty much saved me in so many ways, especially when you have, overweight and blood pressure and all those things. It takes me out. It's just going, do 30 miles in one session, 50 miles in one session.
Wow.
2 hours riding without stopping. It feels great. But that's another topic to talk about.
Man, we'll have to bring you in because
Absolutely.
it's always a lot of fun. Follow along, follow his production company, and of course, don't be a stranger, brother. It's always good to see.
Victor, thank you very much for this opportunity.
And,
Thank you.
you know,
Thank you, Priscilla.
looking,
Thank you for
looking,
coming.
Qué bonita.
I told you right before.
Thank you.
Didn't I tell you?
so much.
I'm
You have a
looking.
beautiful smile too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
I'm
very
still
much.
looking for a gig, so let me know if you got any
And
openings.
Victor,
Yeah.
thank you for this invitation.
Things have opened up here most recently for me. If you have a job, I'd like to.
Stay tuned. El Paso with Priscilla and Victor.
Look at him. He's a pro.
He's
Stay
already
tuned.
on
We'll
it.
get
Stay
into it. We'll get into it. Thanks to Alberto, our guest this afternoon. Thank you, our producer extraordinaire, Ace. Jennifer, our intern. Downtown Spaces, Herald Post, musical director, David Hollywood Madrid. We got more great stuff lined up. And, of course, follow along with this guy. We'll get the promos done, taken care of here in just a few moments. You're checking out Stay Tuned El Paso with Priss and Vic. Thank you, brother. Appreciate
guys.
Wait, we're going to get a dance out of him? Because he's going to get up and dance a little? Give him a little bit of that. Let's see what we get up. He's got to get up. Yeah. He's ready. Give it to him. Hey, take him out. Hey, it's Stay Tuned El Paso with Priss and Vic.
I'm Priss.
I'm Vic. You know the best way to connect with us? Follow along on all of our social media websites.
And if you have a guest that you want us to interview, please, by all means, let us know.
Like and subscribe to all of our websites. We'll be checking it very, very often. Right here, Stay Tuned El Paso.